let her pull up the presentation. If, Mr. Chair, if it's okay with you, I'd like to do one presentation for LU one and item 3 on the
I'm
agenda.
sorry, it's too much crosstalk here. Say it again.
I was saying that if it's okay with you and your permission, I'd like to do one presentation for both LU one, the land use, and for item 3, the rezoning of the
It's the
property.
same.
Same properties.
Do we have any objection? No?
Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
This is regarding 1002 East 19th Street and the property right next door. They're located on the corner of 19th Street and 10th Avenue. It's the two lots, the southeast corner. The land use and the zoning. Next slide. As staff said, is low density residential, but it is located within the TOD area. Next slide. This is the TOD map showing you that the properties are located within there. For the land use portion, you heard that the recommendation is approval. The services for school, pump station, et cetera, are there. So it will comply with what the city's policy is. With regards to the actual project and the rezoning, of course, as I said, it's located within the TOD. I know some board members have expressed concerns regarding single-family homes and buildings coming in. Next slide, please. That's why I put these slides in there. As you can see, and then there was another one very close to this, that staff had written that kind of the neighborhood had lost its character of being an R1 neighborhood. Next slide. This is very close to that, but as you can see, there's a lot of additions, a lot of add-ons to the properties. They're basically from one property line to the other. Next slide. Just some more of the same. And all of these properties are located on exactly the same block. So this project not only will be in line with the vision of this area to be a TOD district, to be forcing the people to use the public transits, but it will also be an improvement to the area to provide necessary housing, to provide adequate housing for these folks that are living in this area. The proposed building is a 4-story building. You heard from staff that it is below the density that is allowed under the TOD. It's a 4-story multifamily 33-unit building. It has 34 parking spaces. 2 of those will be ADA parking spaces. On the first floor, it's got a lobby, storage room, electrical room, garage room, and then you have 3 floors of units. They have 3 studio units on each floor, 7 one-bedroom units on each floor, and 1 2-bedroom on each floor. You'll hear from staff regarding the rezoning that we are short 1 parking space, but your TOD code provides for a payment if you're short of parking, because the area is supposed to be for incentivizing the use of the public transportation. So for the land use, based on the fact that the services are there, it's earmarked for TOD within the city's policy. We would respectfully ask for a vote of recommendation of approval. And if Manny has any other information regarding the building or the architecture.
Manny Rose, architect with offices at 18501 Pines Boulevard. No, I don't have much more to say. In addition to that, we have off-street parking, and this is basically located on a main thoroughfare, which is East 10th Avenue. And I feel very comfortable as an architect for our firm to be able to do a beautiful project like this. So if anybody has any questions, please don't hesitate to ask.
Thank you. Didn't we have another project in this area recently?
But it was not, it was a corner lot that was not sufficient. It was too tight, so they went ahead and bought the property next door. And that's why we have expanded into a much nicer project,
Right.
more comfortable. We're allowed to go to 40-something units, and we decided to go to 30, like 9 or 10 units less.
That's what I thought.
And there was another one in the area that was
A little
not
bit
a
further,
corner.
a little bit further west, I believe.
Correct. Correct.
It was
That
like
was
the
approved.
second property in, second
Correct.
lot in. It was very extremely crowded.
Correct.
It reminded me when I saw
That's the
those.
one where staff said that the neighborhood had lost
Exactly.
the character. That's-
Right, right.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Comments or questions?
Through the chair,
Yes, sir.
what size are the rooms again? The apartments?
I'm sorry,
How many square feet are the apartments?
how many square feet of the apartment, Manny?
Sorry,
How many square feet?
the whole project?
No, the apartment,
the
the
apartment.
units.
So the apartments, they vary from, the 2 bedrooms are, I think it's about 1,100 square feet, and the 1 bedrooms are 700 and something. And the studios, one studio is, like 600 and something square feet, 500 and something square feet.
Okay, so you're where you're supposed to be at with this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we meet
Yeah.
all their TOD requirements.
I like, be honest with you, you know how I feel about this, Caesar. I hate the fact that we're tearing down houses. But you bring up a good argument with that aerial view, to be honest with you, that it's very sad to see. So, what can I say?
Unfortunately, it's the reality of what's going on.
Yeah, it's I got you.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone in the audience have a comment or question on this item? Is there anyone on Zoom? Wow. No, not
They-
you.
They do. It's a good response.
That was good timing.
Really?
I thought it was him.
Is there anyone on Zoom? No? No? Okay. All right.
Wait,
Nope.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you have to read, go ahead.
There were 2 letters that were submitted and I would like to read them into the record. First letter. We are opposed to the request of the public hearing on November 19th, 2025. This, originally, it was supposed to be on November 19th. It was postponed until today. Rezoning of a zone R1 to a zone TOD and variance waiver for reduced parking, but would agree to a rezoning of a zone R1 to a zone R2 duplexes up to a zone R3 4-unit max per lot or 1 building, 8 units on no higher than 2 stories with the required parking. With regards to the proposed request for properties 1002 East 19th Street and 1012 East 19th Street, the variance permit should not be granted as the current zoning laws do allow for the viable permitted uses of the property. Other than land use amendments options are available to where all parties affected could come to an agreement. And sincerely, there were 19 neighbors that do fall within the 500 feet radius signed. That's the first letter.
That's against?
Yes, that is in opposition of the project. Second letter. Recommendations and objections to the request to be heard through public hearing by the Hialeah Planning and Zoning Board on Wednesday, November 19th, 2026. That was a typo. It was supposed to be 2025 at 6 p.m. located at the Council Chambers, City Hall, 3rd floor, 501 Palm Avenue. Request to be heard. Rezoning properties from R1 One Family District to TOD Transit Oriented District. Variance permit to allow a single-use multifamily residential building with 33 units where a vertical mix of uses is required. To allow a front setback of 15.7 feet or 20 feet are required. To allow partial waiver of minimum required landscape requirements through landscape mitigation as per section 98-2235. To allow the mitigation of 1 parking space as per section 98-1546B. Properties requesting are located at 1002 East 19th Street and 1012 East 19th Street. Points to consider regarding our opposition to requests of such a large-scale development. Infrastructure, safety violence, lack of parking, flooding, overcrowding, excessive congestion of people and vehicles. Infrastructure, The proposed property land use change from R1 to TOD for 33-unit rental complex will not be able to keep in line with the current infrastructure of our already congestion 10th Avenue. Many people veer from using Lejeune Road / East 8th Avenue over East 10th Avenue in order to avoid the congestion here. Excuse me. Mostly when the 20-minute FEC train is passing and traffic is paralyzed for over 3/4 of a mile, or even at our 10th Avenue - 21st Street crossing when the train stalls to change tracks. Safety. The proposed property being offered is for rentals. The constant turnaround of tenants is a major concern for families in the area with young children. The more residents are crowded into an area, the less control one has of their neighborhood. Overcrowding by living and the forced interactions often leads to aggression and thereby causing more conflict and chaos. Many times overparking, which the intent project does not seem to offer enough of. Latest incident, May 13, 2025, at 710 East 19th Street, 33-year-old fatality shot. Police said the shooting appeared to stem from a dispute between neighbors, and Campos' family said they believed Blanco's parking spot had been a source of animosity. Increased theft a major factors of, as the more people crowded into a once R1, the harder the identity to constantly coming and going of individuals. Lack of parking. Section 98-1546B, Hialeah Muni Code, Hialeah Parking Improvement Trust Fund, by mitigating for less parking while paying the city for the approval. The fund collects payments in lieu of providing the full number of required on-site, off-site parking spaces for certain development. For example, a developer might be allowed to provide fewer on-site spaces if the remaining required spaces are covered by a payment into this fund. Our neighborhood's lack of parking due to many families living together just to make ends meet because of the high cost of living will now become worse due to the limited parking presented in this variance permit. Our streets are already crowded with cars, parkings on off streets, not to mention even on top of swales and grass due to the lack of thereof. The variance permit would allow 33 units building to have fewer spaces than required by the city ordinance. But by paying the city for other projects into the Hialeah Parking Improvement Trust Fund, the city would grant the less than minimum required spaces, which is truly detrimental to our already crowded situation, to which we do not agree. We can already foresee several disputes due to the lack of parking factor. January 31st, 2024, a dispute over parking on the grass in 5100 block of East 8th Lane escalated, leading to a 66-year-old shooting his 18-year-old neighbor in the chest and arm. May 13, 2025, a fatal shooting occurred at an apartment complex after a dispute over a parking spot. A man was shot and killed after parking in what was allegedly the suspect's spot, leading to a confrontation that escalated to violence. November 3rd, 2025, a Hialeah woman was arrested for allegedly attacking a tenant while the tenant was holding her baby. The dispute was reportedly over a parking space, and the woman was charged with aggravated child abuse and battery. Flooding. Now there is about 1,500 square feet of pervious area. Our neighborhood's pervious area will now be reduced by 13,875 square feet of new impervious area, while only leaving 1,125 square feet of new pervious areas. Overcrowding, excessive congestion of people and vehicles. Not to mention, these units are not affordable for one person alone to pay rent, therefore causing one unit to have multiple members living in them. Take the current pricing of Metro Park on East 25th Street between 9th and 10th Avenue. One studio, one bath, 525 square feet starting at $2,032.
It's longer than 3 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. So that was the audience referring to opposition. Mr. Mister,
I'm
Yes, ma'am.
sorry. I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I do want to clarify that the first letter is actually signed by only 14 neighbors. Some of them did not sign this letter.
I'm at a loss for words here. I don't see how I can fault you or Manny for all these shootings and all these atrocities that are going on throughout the city for parking. You are providing the right amount of parking, correct?
We are one space short, but your code provides for a payment in lieu of, and I have a theory as to why there would be excessive parking in this area in particular.
I
And on
see,
the swale,
I see it.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's all the illegal units.
I see it. And I can't fault you, honestly, for the misbehavings or misdoings or illegal activities of the rest of the,
And also, we're providing on-street parking, 5 or 6 spaces, depending on what the city approves, which is not taken into account as to the other ones that were provided.
it's a novel and respect for, and I respect their opinion. Okay, that they are bringing up all the other illicit, illegal activities, shootings, police reports, what have you. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. Do you have nothing to do with you guys?
Ab-
It-
Through the
notice-
chair,
Absolutely
through the
nothing.
chair, and also another point that I want to clarify and explain is regarding the parking trust fund. Okay, the parking trust fund, even though it's not a variance, they have to mitigate the parking shortage, and those funds are strictly and very restricted. Whenever the city gets to that pool of money to be sufficient to erect a parking garage or any type of parking amenity, specifically surrounding that areas, that those funds are strictly restricted for that purpose. So eventually, at some point in time, it will be an improvement of that sort.
Not just in green areas, not just in worth of trees. You're actually, if
No,
I
no.
understand you correct, you're actually
This
developing parking
this
areas.
parking is specifically strictly limited for parking improvement.
Right, because from what I've understood in the past, if you can mitigate the lack of towards landscaping.
Correct, yes. But this one is strictly for parking amenities.
Okay. Manny?
A quick comment. There's already existing 3 slot, which I park when I put up the signs of on-street parking, which is where I park. They're already built on 10th Avenue. And in reference to the flooding, our civil engineer, Sharon Elkworth, which is one of the best in the world, we have never had a problem with her designs for containing the water within the property, blah, blah, all that stuff with the proper, so, and it's got to be approved by the Hialeah Water and Sewer and Paving and Drainage Department anyway, so I don't feel uncomfortable with that comment in the letter.
We still good? Okay. I kind of feel a little put out, if you will, that they are, and I do respect their opinion, that they are bringing forth all these other police cases and all this other shootings and incidents and whatnot far away from you all. Let's face it, the city is getting crowded. We are, we do have a housing shortage.
And we don't even know how bad it is because the census is not accurate, as we all know.
Wait until they release all those new projects in the old racetrack. Okay, wait till all the people start coming in, because they're not, I don't know, are they ready for sale yet, or?
They had a grand opening today.
Oh, there you go, see? And needless to say, all them projects down 79th, 25th Street, okay? Multi-story high rises, okay? That's gonna add to the traffic. But I don't know, Cesar, I do respect the letters of opposition. We do need to read them in.
And
But,
I
you
understand
know,
them. I understand them.
It is what it is, okay? So I just wanted to make sure that you understand that. And I know that it's none of you guys' fault what other people do. As long as you guys do what you need to do to comply. Okay? And in my vision, from what I see here, it's gonna be a very nice building compared to what is existing. I know it's a little house right now and a big lot, but the adjacent, I mean, you look at the aerial shot and I could swear I'm looking at a trailer park. Not an RV park, a trailer park. So,
Or a favela in Brazil or something.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
I
So-
agree with that.
anyway, that's my take. So closes the part of the public hearing. If the board has any more comments or questions,
One
please.
question.
Yes, sir.
How long is the TOD project? How big is this gonna be? What was this? How much is it gonna encompass? Is it gonna be all of Lejeune Road?
No, in one of Caesar's presentation, there is a map. It doesn't encompass all of it. You can see it actually if you can bring
Basically
it back.
goes from East 17th Street and
You
11th
can,
Avenue
you can see it.
to 8th Avenue up to 33rd Street.
So the blue colors that you see on the I don't know if you have the presentation in front of you.
Yeah, I got it here.
Right,
Okay.
exactly. And actually this year, we extended on East 25th all the way to East 4th Avenue. But basically, it's not the entirety on what you have on the screen, but in the blue colors, that is basically the extent of it.
Okay, so are we going to maintain the yellow sections as single-family residential?
This ordinance passed in 2016. Since then, there had been some projects that they had been approved outside of the blue areas. They are scattered throughout the area, but we basically focus whenever we get these applications. The first thing that we looked at is it within the blue colors, basically?
Yeah, that's my concern. I want to stay within the blue. I don't want to go outside. So you guys are in the blue. You guys are clear. I
Yeah.
want to try to protect as many homes as we can. You know, I always like your work, man, like I already said, but I just hate having quadruplexes in the middle of a residential area.
But
And
If I may, with all due respect, I think the way the ordinances are written, you have a geographical area. And the way I understood this map was the distinction between high-rise, mid-rise, and low-rise. So for lack of a better term, I think everything within 1733, 11th Avenue, and 8th Avenue, for the exception of 25th Street, is fair game. It's just a matter of how much can it be increased,
okay,
not just the blue. I mean, that's my,
And
My
to the
understanding.
chair, originally, that is correct. Originally, the denser, the high rises per se, are the ones closer to the stations.
okay.
As you go down, you steer down into height and also to density.
Correct.
So instead of having a 10 or 12-story building next to a station, closer to the Lejeune, you're going to have probably a low-rise development.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
So in essence, you're really emphasizing the interest, if you will, to promote pedestrian traffic. The closer to the station that you are, you can increase the density of the,
I like to call it, optional transportation.
Right.
Okay, you have the option to take the train,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have the option to, use a car, etc., and walk to the station, correct?
Right.
So you have more options for transportation.
but the closer you are to the station,
The height.
the more
yes,
liberal
Yes,
we can
exactly.
be with height and density.
Exactly, the denser we are.
Works for me?
Yeah, but it generates the pyramid effect for
Mm.
planning from high rise to.
Right. Right.
That's
Okay.
what that's what our intentions are.
Okay.
Makes a lot more sense.
All right. So what's the pleasure of the board?
Motion to approve.
Second that motion.
Okay, so we had a motion by Mr. Iglesias, second by Mr. Ulloa. Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Mr. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Ulloa,
Yes.
Mr. Iglesias.
Yes.
Item has been approved.
Thank you. Now that we'll close the land use part of the meeting. We will now open the regular planning and zoning
A
section.
question before we continue, can we just finish off the other part of this, or we have to?
Yeah, Mr. Mestre was talking about number three.
We
Item
have,
number three.
it's two meetings. It's a land use.
Yeah, but after this one, the land use, can we move into Mr. Mestre's already, just to, or is it, do we have to?
I think
stay
it was
on-
item number three that he spoke about.
I don't know, it's up to you. I just thought maybe.
I'm
It's
okay
not
with
up
it.
to me. It's up to you all.
I'm
yeah.
okay.
It's
I'm
up to
okay
you.
with-
If you all want
Yeah.
to, you know,
Yeah.
shimmy it around a little bit, I'm good with it.
Yeah, me too.
But we do need to close the land use
Yes, sir.
part.
Okay.
And then we open the planning and zoning part and we can probably move, move you up a little bit. So,
So item number 1, approval of the Planning and Zoning Board summary agenda of November 19, 2025 as submitted.
Motion to approve.
Second that motion?
I had a motion by Mr. Ulloa, second by Mr. Iglesias. Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Mr. Iglesias?
Yes.
Mr. Ulloa?
Yes.
Mr. Perez?
yes,
Item has been approved. A written decision and resolution will be prepared and presented for review to the City Council. The City Council is authorized to affirm with conditions, or override the decisions by resolution. After the resolution is adopted, contact a member of the City Clerk's office to obtain a copy of the final decision and resolution. Upon your receipt of the final decision and resolution, contact the Building Department to obtain your required building permit. Summary minutes or a copy of the audio file of the proceedings before the Planning and Zoning Board shall be prepared and submitted to the City Council before its hearing. The Planning and Zoning Board recommendations for the following public hearing requests will be heard by the City Council at a scheduled meeting of Tuesday, January 13th, 2026. Item number 3, rezoning properties from R1 One Family District to TOD Transit Oriented Development District. Variance permit to allow a single-use multifamily residential building with 33 units where a vertical mix of uses is required. To allow a front setback of 15.7 feet where 20 feet are required. To allow 7.5% pervious area where 10% is the minimum pervious area required. To allow partial waiver of minimum landscape requirements through landscape mitigation as per section 98-2235, and to allow the mitigation of 1 parking space as per section 98-1546B. Properties are located at 1002 East 19th Street and 1012 East 19th Street, highly zoned R1, One Family District. Applicant, Cesar Mestre, Squire on behalf of 1002 East 19th Street, LLC.
and this is the companion application to the one we just heard.
To LU1, correct.
Okay, go ahead.
Cesar Master with offices at 8105 Northwest 155th Street, Miami Lakes, Florida, along with Manny Rose Architect.
The properties in this application are located at the southeast intersection of East 10th Avenue and East 19th Street. Together, the two lots combined are approximately 16,949 square feet or 0.38 acres. The sites are currently improved with single-family homes measuring 1,106 square feet and 920 square feet, constructed in 1948 and 1950, according to Miami-Dade County property appraisals records. The properties are designated as low-density residential on the city's future land use map and currently zone R1, One Family District, situated within the boundaries of Hialeah Transit-Oriented Development District, more specifically within the Transfer Station Sub-District. The surrounding land use designation and following classification and zoning classifications are as follows. To the north, low-density residential, zone R1. To the east, low-density residential and industrial, zone R1 and M1 industrial district. To the south, low and medium-density residential, zone R1 and R2, 1 and 2 family residential districts. To the west, low-density residential districts, zones R1 and R2. The applicant is before the city requesting to rezone the properties from R1, One Family District, to TOD, Transit-Oriented Development District. A companion land use amendment application has been submitted to change land use designation from low-density residentials to Transit-Oriented Development District, ensuring consistency between land use and zoning. The proposed amendment and the rezoning are intended to support a proposed 4-story multifamily development consisting of 33 residential units. The applicant is also requesting a variance permit to allow a single-use multifamily residential building with 33 residential units where a vertical mix of uses is required, to allow a front setback of 15.7 feet where 20 feet are required, to allow a 7.5% pervious area where 10% of the minimum pervious area is required, to allow partial waiver of minimum landscaping requirements through landscaping mitigation as per section 98-2235, and to allow the mitigation of one parking space as per section 98-1546B. According to the submitted plans, the proposed project consists of a 4-story multifamily residential building. The ground floor is designed primarily for parking, providing for a total of 34 parking spaces, including 2 ADA compliant spaces. This level also includes a main lobby with pedestrian access from the East 19th Street and from the interior parking area, as well as a service, a storage room, electrical room, and garage room, along with 2 stairwells for vertical circulation. The second through 4 floors each include 3 studios unit, 7 one-bedroom, one-bathroom units, and 1 two-bedroom, two-bathroom units, for a total of 33 residential units throughout the building. The project proposed a single use, which is the multifamily residential, where vertical mix of uses is required within the transit-oriented development district. However, the single-use residential design is expected to have minimal impact on surrounding properties, as it will not generate additional retail or commercial traffic and will maintain compatibility with the existing residential character of the area. The proposed buildings complies with all the required setback dimension, with the exemptions of the stairways fronting East 19th Street, which slightly encroaches into the front setback. Staff does not find that this encroachment to have a negative impact, as the stairs are an open architectural feature that does not obstruct visibility or pedestrian movement along the sidewalk. The encroachment is minimal in scale and helps enhance the building design by providing direct pedestrian access from the public right-of-way, thereby supporting the walkability goals of the transit-oriented development district. To address the reduction in pervious area, the project will incorporate an on-site drainage system designed to properly manage stormwater runoff. Additionally, the applicant will be required to mitigate the minimal landscaping area not providing, in accordance to section 98-2235 of the City of Hialeah Code of Ordinance, during the site plan and concurrency review process. It is important to note that since the proposed project is planned to be constructed across 2 separate properties, the applicant will be required to provide a unity of title and record it with the Miami-Dade County Clerks of Circuit Court's office prior to the final approval of the site plan and concurrency process. Based on the submitted plans, the proposal falls short by 1 parking space. Staff finds that this deficiency acceptable given that the property is located within the TOD district, which is intended to encourage the use of public transit, walking, and bicycling, thereby reducing reliance on personal vehicles. The project's proximity to major transit facilities such as the Tri-Rail and Metro Rail stations support this intent. Furthermore, the applicant will be required to mitigate the parking deficiency in accordance with section 98-1546B of the City of Hialeah Code of Ordinance, ensuring the adequate measures are in place to address the shortfall. Based on the applicant's request, the staff recommends approval with the following condition: enter into a declaration of restrictions to develop the site according to plan signed and sealed by Manny Reyes, architect, dated September 8, 2025, and that the applicant submit a one-time landscape mitigation payment, the amount of which will be calculated during site plan and concurrency review process, and that the applicant submits a one-time parking mitigation payment of $25,420 at the time of site plan and concurrency, or depending whenever they submit the building permit, what is going to be the pricing of that parking space. That the applicant provides a unity of title and records it with the Miami-Dade County Clerks of Circuit Courts prior to the final approval of the site plan concurrency. Staff recommends approval with those conditions.
Thank you. Let the record show that Mr. Morales is on board.
Hello, everyone. So sorry for my tardiness.
The train had a flat tire, right? Gotcha. All right. Thank you, Claudio.
The
Next.
conditions are acceptable, and we would rely on our presentation that we made at All U1, which was a joint presentation.
Okay.
Happy to answer any questions you may have.
All righty. Comments or questions?
Nope.
Anyone in the audience? Anyone in the electronic audience? No? All right. Closes the public hearing. What's the pleasure of the board?
Motion to approve
With the conditions.
with the conditions.
So we had a motion by Mr. Iglesias, second by Mr. Mason. Mr. Ulloa,
Yes.
Mr. Morales,
Yes, and by the way, I was keeping up with YouTube before I got here, so I do have some knowledge of what's happening.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Technology, man.
Right?
I'm telling you.
Mr. Morales, Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Mr. Iglesias.
Yes.
Item has been approved with conditions.
See, Mr.
Thank you
Iglesias.
very much. Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy New Year, and we'll be seeing you.
Merry Christmas to everybody.
Likewise.
Merry
like-
Christmas, Happy New
Mr.
Year.
Iglesias, I wanted to make sure that that you mentioned the conditions, because we're looking at, $25,000 here, and I'm sure Mr. Mestre can, we're not gonna go there, right? Anyway, listen, you guys have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and whatever cliche applies to you all.
The Planning and Zoning Board recommendations for the following public hearing requests will be heard by the City Council at a scheduled meeting of Tuesday, January 27th, 2026. Item number 2, final decision to allow interior west side setback of 3.80 feet where 7.5 feet are required. To allow rear setback of 9.77 feet where 20 feet are required for an existing aluminum roof to be legalized. To allow a distance separation of 3.55 feet between a 313.2 square foot metal shed and the main residence, where 10 feet is the minimum required. And to allow a rear setback of 16 feet where 20 feet are required for an existing aluminum roof to be legalized. Property is located at 651 East 53rd Street, Hialeah, Zones R1, One Family District. Applicant Miguel Hernandez Valdez and Aleida Sosa Simon.
English or Spanish?
Español.
Ok. ¿Las dos señoritas van a prestar testimonio?
No, yo veía a mi
¿Usted solo?
esposa.
Porque sí, ustedes pueden prestar testimonio, pero tienen que jurar. Porque usted que se quedó sentada, yo no la vi jurar a usted. A usted sí.
Yes.
¿Ok? Levante la mano.
Do you swear or affirm the truth before this board? ¿Usted jura o afirma decir la verdad ante esta junta?
Sí.
Thank you. Nombre y dirección.
Miguel Hernández Valdés, 651 West, 53 Street, Hialeah, Florida, 3302.
Ok, fíjese. Esto es lo que va a pasar. Ella va a leer su aplicación en inglés. Después se la va a traducir a español. Si ustedes quieren responder en inglés, es más fácil.
Ujú.
Si no, si quiere responder en español, pues entonces yo le pido que hable un párrafo pequeño, dé oportunidad para que la señorita lo traduzca, porque hay que, ¿me entiende? Tenemos que desarrollarnos así. No vaya y después pierde el hilo.
No, si ella pudiera hablar por mí,
pues.
no hay problema. Yo
Ok.
no estoy.
La relación de ella es,
Yo soy la permit runner. Yo le estoy ayudando con el proceso de sacar el permiso.
ok, name and address.
María Rodríguez.
Can she, okay, especially since he is authorized. Okay, si usted la autoriza que ella hable, a la que representa, perfecto. Entonces vamos a leer todo en inglés, le es más eficiente, ¿ok? Si tiene cualquier pregunta, párenos y pregunte. ¿Ok? Perfecto. Pueden sentarse.
Gracias.
The property in this application is located on the north side of West 53rd Street between West 6th Court and West 8th Avenue. The lot is approximately 7,575 square feet or 0.17 acres. The site is improved with a 1363 square foot single-family home originally built in 1956, according to Miami-Dade County Property Appraisals records. The property is designated as low-density residential on the city's future land use map, and the zoning classification is R1, One Family District, which is consistent therewith. The applicant is before the city requesting to allow an interior west side setback of 3.80 feet where 7.5 feet are required, to allow a rear setback of 9.75 feet where 20 feet are required for an existing aluminum roof to be legalized, to allow a distance separation of 3.55 feet between a 313.2 square foot metal shed and the main residence, where 10 feet is the minimum required, and to allow a rear setback of 16 feet where 20 feet are required for an existing aluminum roof to be legalized. A review of the city microfilms record shows that the main residence was constructed with 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, along with a carport under permit number 1956-33933. Records also indicate that several prior improvements were permitted, including a Florida room addition at the rear and a storage room at the west side of the home under permit number 1967-74982, and a carport enclosure converted into a storage room under permit 2021-6826, and a new driveway permit number 2010-477. Since that time, the property has been altered with construction of aluminum roofs throughout the site and a 313.2 square foot metal shed. In February 2025, the property owner received a building without a permit code violation under case number BWOP-000-327-2025. A building permit application was later submitted to the building department to legalize the unpermitted structures. During the zoning review, staff observed that the structures proposed for legalization do not meet the required setbacks and separation and distance separation, resulting in the variance in the finals and variance requested here today. During the review of the submitted plans and survey, staff observed that the existing metal shed has an attached canvas roof. Staff also noted that bedroom number 3 does not connect to the rest of the residence and includes a side door, which is not compatible with a single-family home layout. Microfilms records indicate that bedroom number 3 was originally a storage room permitted in 2021. However, over time, a bathroom and closet were added, converted it into a bedroom that must be legalized as shown in the submitted plans. Staff met with the property owner on December 5th, 2025, and informed that the applicant and the canvas roof attached to the shed must be removed, and that the exterior side door for bedroom 3 must either be eliminated or changed to a glass door. Bedroom number 3 must also be provided with an interior door that connects directly to the rest of the home to ensure a layout consistent with a single-family dwelling. Additionally, the submitted site plan does not include the pervious area calculation. Staff observed that the site contains artificial grass, which is not considered a permeable material. The site plan must be revised to demonstrate compliance with the minimum 30% of pervious area requirements, approximately 2,272.5 square feet, and that the artificial grass must be removed and replaced with natural grass or another acceptable permeable material. Given that the required rear setback is 20 feet and the proposed aluminum roofs provide 9.77 feet and 16 feet, staff finds that the reduced setbacks do not negatively impact the adjacent properties. The structures are not built on the property line, and there is still enough open space at the rear of the lot to allow for light, air, and visibility. As long as the metal roof remains open on all sides, they function as outdoor covered areas rather than enclosed rooms, which reduce their impact on overcrowding or intrusion on neighboring properties. Additionally, the distance separations between the existing metal sheds and the metal shed and the main structure does not create a negative impact. The metal shed complies with the required rear interior east side setbacks, maintaining an appropriate buffer from the neighboring home and preserving privacy for both properties. The placement of the shed does not block views, airflow, or sunlight, and because the accessory structures are open on all sides and modest in height, they avoid creating visual and physical obstructions. Finally, even with the alterations made to the site, the property remains compatible with the surrounding single-family neighborhood character. Staff recommends approval of the request subject to the following conditions. The applicant must apply for a building permit to legalize the existing metal shed and bathroom number 3, and the canvas roof attached to the metal shed must be removed, and the existing aluminum roof must remain open on all sides, and the exterior side door for bedroom number 3 must either be eliminated or changed to a glass door or window. Bedroom number 3 must be reconfigured to connect to the rest of the home by providing an interior door that opens into the main residence, and that the artificial grass must be removed and replaced with natural grass or another approved permeable material, and the site must demonstrate compliance with the minimum 30% pervious area requirement, approximately 2,272.5 square feet. Staff recommends approval with conditions. We have met with the property owners and the permit runners, so I can translate it to Spanish, but based on our meeting, they agreed to the conditions to provide all the changes that we are requiring. So if the property owner can confirm to those conditions.
Yes, we agree with the conditions and we're gonna start working on the corrections so we can comply and obtain the approval.
Would you like a report of, a copy of the report?
I have it right
You-
here. I received an email also with all the information, so.
So you have in front of you the actual conditions that are being brought forth?
They send it to my email. I receive it through my email. I have
Okay,
it.
because there's a few and I'm, tend to forget, so I was just offering, to give you a copy, but if you have one, then it's good to go.
Yes, I have it.
Okay, do you have any comments or questions?
I don't. I'm fine.
Do they agree, as Claudia mentioned, do they agree with the conditions?
De acuerdo con las condiciones, fue lo mismo que discutieron en la reunión con Claudia anteriormente. Yes.
They do.
Mhm.
Very good. Comments or questions from the board?
I have one question. The artificial grass, what's the issue with that?
We don't recognize that as permeable surface, so we don't have it in our ordinance. Our ordinance recognize and identified either grass, dirt, of course, or gravel as permeable areas. So until we don't have an ordinance to identify what are the components to make that legally a permeable area, I know that in other cities they have a certain percentage, they need to submit the plans and everything, but we don't currently have it.
Okay.
Claudia, back in the day, they used to include pavers. Is that still acceptable or no?
No,
Not anymore?
no.
Okay, because the pavers are separated in between each brick and they do allow water to drain through.
If they're open pavers,
Not tiles where they're grouted together and it's a seal.
right, no.
But pavers were, like cobblestones, if you will,
No.
like the old, where you place them and there's a little strip of sand or something in between.
No,
That's not allowed anymore because it used to be.
yes, no.
Okay. See?
Yeah, I'd like to help them with something, but
Well, as a matter of fact, and the reason I'm saying this is because there was, for a very long time, even the city, when they were improving the swale, the parking area swale, they would install those pavers in the swale as parking surface.
As far as I know, in the code, we don't recognize those as permeable areas.
Okay,
okay,
so then.
we tried.
We can start working and bring something up, but
Yeah,
it's
I'd
not.
like to see
yeah.
something with the artificial grass because I have issues with real grass. I have real grass in my yard.
I know, you just don't want to cut the
I
grass.
just, no, it's not cutting the grass. It is, I understand why they have the artificial grass and maybe pavers or something like you said would be great.
If it is the wish of the board, we can bring it in new business section and then you can direct, staff
Yeah,
to start
we'll do
working
that.
in a draft of an ordinance.
Again, I have seen it in the past where in the swales, here in Hialeah, Miami Lakes, Miami Springs, okay, Coral Gables, okay, areas that I've worked in, where the swale parking area, if you were to improve the swale, they would allow, instead of using asphalt or concrete, the pavers, pavers that they actually look like a pretzel. They're hollow inside.
They're open, yes, exactly. But I cannot speak on the street, behalf, but I know that they don't allow any other type of material. But as I said, at the end, we can discuss that.
It's a thought, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
All right.
any more comment, questions? Anyone in the audience? All right, no, anyone? Do we have anybody on Zoom at all?
We don't allow them.
We don't allow it anymore?
No.
Oh, okay, so much for that. Hi, what's the pleasure of the board?
Motion to approve
With conditions.
With
with the conditions?
Second.
Okay, so motion by Mr. Iglesias and Mr. Ulloa, second by Mr. Morales. Mr. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Morales?
Yes.
Mr. Ulloa?
Yes.
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Mr. Iglesias?
Yes,
Item has been approved with condition.
with conditions.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, this is a final decision. Do they need to come back, right?
Yes, they will need to come back, before the city council, January 27th, Tuesday, January 27th at 5:30 PM.
Okay.
Okay.
El 27, martes, a las 5:30 tenemos que regresar.
27 de enero.
De enero.
De enero.
Ujú.
De enero.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Happy.
Thank you.
Mhm. Item number 3, we already heard. Item number 4. Variance permit to allow a detached oversized carport with an area of 540 square feet, where 400 square feet is the maximum square footage allowed. To allow a distance separation of 0 feet between an existing 275 square foot shed and the oversized carport, where 10 feet is the minimum required. To allow a distance separation of 4 feet between a covered terrace and the oversized carport, where 10 feet is the minimum required. And to allow the existing accessory structures to exceed 35% of the size of the main building. Property is located at 600 Northeast First Place, Hialeah, zoned R1, one family district. Applicant, Yanier Hernandez.
Name and address, please.
Ana Alzate, and the address of the property is 600 Northeast First Place.
Thank you.
The property in this application is located on the southeast corner of East Sixth Avenue between East First Place and Hialeah Drive. The site is currently improved with one-story, 1,386 square feet, single-family residence built in 2011, according to the Miami-Dade County Property Appraisal's record. The property is designated low-density residential on the city's future land use map and is currently zone R1, one family district. The surrounding land use and zoning classification are as follows. To the north and east, low-density residential, zone R1. To the south, low-density residential and residential office, zone R1. To the west, low-density residential and commercial, zone R2, 1 and 2 family residential districts, and C2, liberal retail commercial district. The applicant is before the city requesting a variance to permit and to allow a detached oversized carport with an area of 540 square feet, where 400 feet is the maximum square footage allowed. To allow a distance separations of 0 feet between an existing 275 square foot shed and an oversized carport, where 10 feet is the minimum required. To allow a distance separation of 4 feet between a covered terrace and an oversized carport, where 10 feet is the minimum required. And to allow an existing accessory structure to exceed 35% of the size of the main building. A review of the city microfilms record showed that the main residence was constructed with 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, along with 170 square foot covered terrace under permit number 2010-3420 BD. The lot was also developed with 3,437.5 square feet, or 46.3% of pervious area. A permit for a 275 square foot shed was later approved in 2020 under permit 2020-4647 BD. Since that time, the property has been altered with the construction of an aluminum covered terrace added to the original terrace built in 2011, as well as an oversized detached carport. In May 2025, the property owner received a building without a permit violation under case number BWOP-001954-2025. A permit application was later submitted to the building department to legalize the unpermitted structure. During the zoning review, staff observed that the structures proposed for legalization do not meet the required distance separation, and the carport exceeds the maximum allowed square footage. And the existing accessory structure exceeds 35% of the size of the main building, resulting in the variance request being heard today. During the review of the submitted plans and survey, staff also identified that the covered terrace was added to the existing shed and that a perimeter fence was installed to enclose that portion of the property, both without the benefit of a building permit. The submitted scope of work indicated that the permitted Dura fence within the property will be removed and that the existing aluminum covered terrace attached to the main residence is being legalized, along with the aluminum covered terrace attached to the shed. Staff met with the property owners on December 4, 2025, and advised that the aluminum covered terrace attached to the shed cannot be legalized and must be removed. The applicant agreed to remove the covered terrace. Additionally, the submitted site plan does not include a zoning legend showing the pervious area calculations. The site plan must be revised to demonstrate compliance with the minimum pervious area requirement of 30%, approximately 226 square feet. Even though the distance separations are less than the required minimum of 10 feet, staff finds that the reduced separations do not negatively impact adjacent properties, as the structures are not built to the property line. Comply with the required rear and street setbacks, and maintain an adequate privacy for both the subject property and the surrounding homes. While the roof accessory structure exceed 35% of the size of the main building, the functions as open door space rather than enclosed rooms. As long as these roofed area remain open on all sides, they do not block light, airflow, or visibility, and do not create any visual or physical obstruction for neighboring properties. Additionally, as a corner lot, the property complies with the required 10-foot triangle of visibility, ensuring the site distance, safety, and circulation standards are maintained along the adjacent streets. Staff recommends approval of the request subject to the following condition. One, existing aluminum covered terrace attached to the main residence and the oversized carport must be remained open at all sides, and that the aluminum covered terrace attached to the existing shed and the perimeter through a fence within the property must be removed, and that the site plan must demonstrate compliance with the minimum 30% pervious area and 2 feet drainage separation requirements, and include a zoning legend with all the zoning requirements prior to receiving final approvals from the Planning and Zoning Division. Staff recommends approval with conditions.
Thank you.
Thank you. Comments or questions?
We met at the building department, so we know and the owners know the conditions and we agree on the conditions.
Okay. Comments or questions from the board?
Not at all. So they agree with the conditions.
Anyone in the audience would like to have a comment? No? Closes the part of public hearing. What's the pleasure of the board?
Motion to approve with conditions?
Yes, sir.
Second.
Okay, so we had a motion by Mr. Iglesias, second by Mr. Morales and Mr. Mason. Mr. Ulloa,
Yes.
Mr. Iglesias,
Yes.
Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Mr. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Morales.
Yes.
Item has been approved with conditions.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Likewise.
Item number 5, variance permit to allow the construction of a,
They have to, yeah, you have to come back to the
give me
to
one.
the council meeting on,
Okay, so their item, you will need to come to city council Tuesday, January 13th, 2026. Okay? Yeah, this is okay.
so in the meantime, have all the Christmas dinners and gifts and parties and stuff and get ready and come back. Nice.
Item number 5, variance permit to allow the construction of a duplex on a substandard lot having a lot width of 50 feet where 75 feet are required. To allow a lot area of 6,750 square feet where 7,500 square feet are required. To allow interior east side and west side setbacks of 5 feet 1 inch where 7.5 feet are required. And to allow a lot coverage of 33.18% when 30% is the maximum lot coverage allowed. Property is located at 60 East 14th Street, Hialeah zones R2, 1 and 2 Family Residential District. Applicant Frank De La Paz on behalf of 60 East 14th Street LLC.
Welcome back, Frank. Would you mind doing the honors?
Good afternoon, Frank De La Paz, 11,000 Southwest 104th Street. And let's hear from Ms. Ashman.
Good evening. Thank you.
Good evening, thank you.
The property in this application is located on the south side of East 14th Street between Palm Avenue and East First Avenue. The site was improved with a 899 square foot single-family residence built in 1950, according to the Miami-Dade County Property Appraisal's records. The structure was demolished in September 2025 under building permit number BLDR-008232-2025, and the lot is now vacant. The property is designated low-density residential on the city's future land use map and is currently zone R2, 1 and 2 family residential districts. Surrounding land use and zoning classifications are as follow: to the north, east, and south, low density residential, zone R2, and to the west, low density residential and high density residential, zone R2. The applicant is before the city requesting a variance permit to allow the construction of a duplex on a substandard lot having a lot width of 50 feet where 75 feet are required. To allow a lot area of 6,750 square feet where 7,500 square feet are required. To allow interior east and west side setbacks of 5 feet and 1 inch where 7.5 feet are required. And to allow a lot coverage of 33.18%, where 30% is the maximum lot coverage allowed. According to the submitted plans, the proposed project consists of a two-story duplex building. Each unit will be 2 stories and will have approximately living area of 2,063 square feet of area, and will be designed with 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, including a covered terrace at the rear of the building. The project will provide a minimum of 4 parking spaces, meeting the minimum parking requirements. The plan proposed a total pervious area of 3,038 square feet, 45%, which exceed the minimum required 30% of pervious area, thereby providing proper site drainage. To address the variances being requested, it is important to note that the property was platted in 1922, prior to the adoption of the current minimum lot width and lot area requirements for the R2 zoning classification. As a result, the lot is considered substandard in size. The project also seeks approval of the reduced interior east and west side setback of 5 feet and 1 inch, where 7.5 feet are required. Staff finds that this reduction acceptable due to the limited lot width and the fact that the proposed structure maintains adequate separation from the adjacent properties, preserving privacy. In addition, the applicant is requesting approval of a total lot coverage of 33.18%, where a maximum of 30% is permitted. Staff does not anticipate that the increased lot coverage will negatively impact the surrounding properties. The proposed duplex includes a larger building footprint to accommodate additional bedroom, which increases housing opportunities and enhances the overall functionality of the site while remaining compatible with the neighborhood character and consistent with the existing R2 zoning classification. It is also important to note that the property continued to exceed the pervious area requirement despite the expanded building footprint. The proposal was submitted to Miami-Dade County Public School Concurrency Management System, CMS, to ensure that adequate school capacity is available to serve the students generated by the proposed residential development, and it is determined that the proposed development impact on public school enrollment does meet the level of service, LOS. The site is served by pump station PS054, which is in okay status. Final capacity and utility impacts will be further evaluated during the site plan and concurrency review process. Based on the applicant request, staff recommends approval with the condition to enter into a declaration of restriction to develop the site according to the plan signed and sealed by Leopoldo Velon, architect, dated November 7, 2025. Staff recommends approval with that condition.
Thank you. Frank?
And I totally agree with her. As it was stated, this was a very old house in the middle of the street full of code violations. So the first thing that we did, we demolished it. And we're replacing it with a nice modern duplex, which is more than compatible with the rest of the neighborhood. And the only reason that the lot coverage got a little over because we decided to move the building a little further to the back, to the middle of the lot, to have a better product, and we have a little more concrete because of that. Any questions from anybody?
No.
Any comments or questions from the board? Did you say the house was built in the middle of the street?
No, in the middle of the block.
Oh, okay. Because I thought you said
Well, middle of the street.
street, the block.
No, it was in the middle. It's in the middle of the block.
Gotcha.
So it's the middle of the street in the neighborhood.
You know, I like to, every once in a while.
Yes, no, and I understand. And yet again, I decided to come in person, not do it by Zoom, because I want to make sure I wish everybody a
Yeah, likewise.
nice season greetings and,
Likewise.
remind you that I'm still around no matter what they say.
Good. All right, comments or questions from the board? Anyone in the audience? What's the pleasure of the board?
Motion to approve with conditions?
Second.
Okay, so we had a motion by Mr. Iglesias and Mr. Ulloa, and a second by
No,
Mr.
it was,
I'm so sorry, by Mr. Okay. So a motion by Mr. Iglesias and Mr. Mason, and a second by Mr. Iglesias.
no, Mr.
No.
Morales.
I'm so sorry. I'm
It's
looking
okay.
at the wrong one. And Mr. Morales.
There you go.
You getting everybody confused, huh?
Oh, well, it happens,
All right. Mr. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Mr. Iglesias,
Yes.
Mr. Ulloa,
Yes.
Mr. Morales.
Yes.
Item has been approved with conditions.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hope-
Merry Christmas, Frank.
Season greetings to you all.
Item number 6. Variance permit to allow an attached oversized carport with an area of 424 square feet, where 400 square feet is the maximum square footage allowed. to allow a distance separation of 0 feet between an existing aluminum terrace and the oversized carport, and to allow an interior west side setback of 2 feet where 6 feet are required for an existing aluminum terrace to be legalized. Property is located at 660 East 38th Street, Hialeah, Zones R1, One Family District. Applicant, Ronaldo Travieso Horta and Janet Puentes Cordero.
Name and address, please.
Good evening, Ronald Travieso Horta, 660 38th Street, Hialeah, Florida, 33013.
Thank you.
The property in this application is located on the south side of East 38th Street between East 6th Avenue and 7th Avenue. The site is improved with a single-family residence built in 1952, according to the city records. The property is designated low-density residential on the city's future land use map and is currently zoned R1, One Family Residential District. Surrounding land use and zoning classification are as follows: to the north, south, east, and west, low-density residential and zone R1. The property was recently sold, July 2024, according to Miami-Dade County property records. Therefore, the applicants who are the current owners receive a code violations are the BWOP 004613-2024. The work without a building permit for a carport. While the applicant submitted for building permits to legalize the carport, zoning plan reviewers denied the building permit since the carport exceeded the maximum side allowable per code and it is not providing the minimum setback separations from the side property line. The applicant is requesting a variance permit to allow an existing oversized carport of 424 square feet, where 400 square feet is the maximum allowed for a carport, and a separation of 0 feet between the existing oversized carport and the existing aluminum terrace, where a 10-foot separation is required, and a setback reduction of the interior west side of 2 feet, where 6 feet is the minimum side setback from the side property line. The oversized dimension of the carport and the separation reduction between the carport and the terrace are not detrimental to the adjacent properties. Therefore, these variances are recommended for approval. However, the side terrace that is located on the west side of the property is imposing a structure too close to the neighboring property. If this aluminum terrace is modified to provide for a separation, including the columns and the roof overhang of not less than 2 feet, and that all 3 sides are to remain open at all times, staff recommends approval. The 2 feet minimum separation is to maintain rainwater within the property, and the openings are to secure that no other uses besides ancillary nature of an open terrace will occur within such proximity to the neighboring property. Based on the applicant's request, the staff recommends approval with the following conditions: driveway permit to be finalized, BLDR-016348-2024, and a drainage separation of not less than 2 feet from property lines except on the driveways, and a minimum of 2 feet setback is required of the west side aluminum terrace, inclusive of the aluminum overhang roof and columns and any other vertical structural components, and the terrace building permit to be obtained and be final. With those conditions, the staff recommends approval.
Thank you. You just purchased that house, right?
Yeah.
Turned out nice.
Thank you.
No, it's yeah, I saw it and it's from what it used to be to what it is now. It's
A lot of effort. Yeah.
any comments or questions?
Anyone?
Comments or questions from the board? Anyone in the audience?
Does he agree to the,
Do you agree? Yeah.
you agree?
Well, he already has a permit for the driveway.
Yeah, I have. It's
And-
just finalized, yeah.
And the other things basically is like if your driveway and the fence, if you will, the property line needs to have at least 2 feet of
They do have.
gravel,
They do have.
rock, grass. That way, so whatever water, whatever rains falls on the driveway can
Goes away.
drain over to the either side.
Yeah. I have 2 feet.
Through the chair,
Yes.
for our review, actually, the most important condition is to the west side aluminum terrace. The west side aluminum terrace, the columns and the overhang, it has to be a minimum of 2 feet separation from the property line. You understood that, right?
And they are like this. They
Okay,
have 2 feet.
okay, we just
think-
needed to make sure of
Yeah.
that he's clear on that condition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So what's the pleasure of the board?
Motion
Motion
to
to
approve
approve.
conditions. Jinx.
I had a motion by Mr. Morales and Mr. Ulloa at the same time. I would need a second. And then Mr. Mason second. Okay. Mr. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Ulloa,
Yes.
Mr. Morales,
Yes.
Mr. Iglesias,
Yes.
Mr. Mason. Item has been approved with conditions.
Thank you.
You will need to come back January 13th, 2026 at 5:30 PM before the city council,
What time, sir?
5:30 PM.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Item number 7, special use permit to allow the operation of entertainment facility indoor dry slide and action park with no alcohol, beer and wine to be sold or served, and no amusement machines to be installed and operated within a property zoned M1 Industrial District. Property is located at 3890 West 18th Avenue, Hialeah zoned M1 Industrial District. Applicant Preston Moore on behalf of SC Westland Prominent Limited Partnership.
Name and address, please.
Preston Moore, 3890 West 18th Avenue, Hialeah.
Thank you.
The property in this application is located on the east side of the Palmetto Expressway between West 39th Street and West 35th Street and west of West 18th Avenue. The property is approximately 24.8 acres and is improved with an outdoor shopping center built in 1990, according to Miami-Dade County Property Appraisals records. The property is designated as industrial on the city's future land use map and currently zoned M1 Industrial District, thereby consistent. The surrounding land use designation and zoning classifications are as follows. To the north, industrial zone M1. To the east, industrial and commercial zone C2 and M1. To the south, industrial zone M1. To the west, right-of-way and the city's boundaries. This application applies only to the unit identified as 3890 West 18th Avenue, which is one of the units within the shopping center. This unit is approximately 38,500 square feet of area and is located on the northeast corner of the shopping center area. The shopping center has been operating since 1990, and it has a parking area of 1,603 parking spaces. Based on existing zoning designation, parking exceeds the requirements. However, the use of the property has been granted as a commercial outdoor shopping center, and the parking calculations are legal non-conforming. Site inspection has revealed that the parking is sufficient for the current uses of the site. At the same property, there is a chain restaurant known for its kids' entertainment component, Chuck E. Cheese. This restaurant obtained a variance permit to expand a legal non-conforming use according to ordinance number 10-29 approved on May 13, 2010 to sell beer and wine at the location. The applicant is before the city requesting a special use permit SUP to allow a kids entertainment business at an M1 zoning district. The applicant description of the business is an indoor dry slide and action park to provide for recreational experiences that promote physical activities, social engagement, and community enrichment. Their site plan shows slides, sport courts, soft play areas, and others. There are no amusement machines of any sort and no alcohol is being served or sold at the premises. The applicant has provided an operational plan describing its anticipated hours of operation, staffing levels, security protocol, and anticipated peak customers. See as attachment of this staff report. Staff is recommending that the applicant provide a declaration of restriction to include the use of the premises as the site plan provided, and that there will be no amusement machines and no alcohol will be served and or sold at the premises. Staff recommends approval with conditions.
Thank you. Is this at Chuck E. Cheese or
No.
Right across.
across where there used to be
It
border
was a Cons.
a what?
Cons, Home Plus, appliances, TVs is what they used to
Okay.
sell there.
But
Yeah.
is that the Guitar Center?
That's next to us. I believe at one point it was a floor and.
Floor in the core. Yeah, that's
And they split
right.
the space and
Right.
Guitar Center took part of it and we'd like to do business in the other.
Yeah, because when I saw the address and she mentioned Chuck E. Cheese,
Yeah, Northeast.
you're gonna get the kids.
So
No.
you're getting the part that is cons now. The Guitar
Yeah.
Center is still there. I haven't been there. in a while.
Yes, Guitar Center is still there. We're taking the con space. So right on the corner,
Okay.
across from the high school, I believe.
Okay. Do you have any more comments or questions? Do you agree with the conditions and
I agree with it.
anything from the board? Chuck E. Cheese's, man.
Is it?
This is a good idea, actually.
It's across from one.
Where,
This reminds me of
You part of Chuck E. Cheese? or
no, we are Slick City.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's
this
gonna be the
reminds
same
me of,
thing, like
Extreme
for
Action
kids
Park.
Stuff.
It's similar to the trampoline parks, but no trampolines, big slides.
Big side.
Dry slides, no water. We have a kids play area, junior play area, and no arcade because of I believe y'all have a code rule about arcades in the same shopping center. So we normally do a small arcade, but we remove that from our plans for this location. It's a lot of fun. Kids love it. Adults, we actually did a recent market study across the country for our current open locations, and we have about 40% adult participation at our locations and 60% children. So we do a lot of corporate event nights where alcohol free. This is going to be a corporate location. I'm a senior project manager for corporate. And most of those locations do not have beer or wine anyway. So it's a great family friendly, alcohol free environment.
Cool. There you go, Diego. We go sliding.
I'm looking at it. It kind of reminds me of Dave and Buster's.
Yeah, a basketball court, dodgeball court, which are air-filled. So that's my favorite thing.
There you go, dodgeball.
Listen, my kids were brought up on Chuck E. Cheese and Dave and Buster and all of them, all of this stuff. Okay. Comments or questions on the board? All right, what's a pleasure?
Motion to approve with condition.
Okay.
Boy, don't have to be so enthusiastic.
Okay. So motion by Mr. Morales, second by Mr. Mason. Mr. Iglesias?
Yes.
Mr. Morales? Mr. Ulloa?
Yes.
Mr. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Item has been approved with conditions.
All righty. Do I need to return in January?
Yes.
You always do, you know that.
Yes, you'll need to return in January, on January 13th, 2026.
Okay, great. 5:30?
5:30.
5:30.
Okay, awesome. Well, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a very Merry Christmas,
Have a
Happy
good one.
holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Item number 8, special use permit to allow the expansion of the neighborhood business district NBD overlay in relation to a proposed mixed-use development, including 71 residential units. Variance permit to allow 59 multifamily units, 83% with an area less than 700 square feet, where 700 square feet is the minimum required, and only 25% of the residential units may have an area of 500 square feet. To allow the front setback of 5.66 feet, where 10 feet built to line are required for the balconies fronting East 4th Avenue. To allow street side setback of 1 foot, where 10 feet built to line are required for the balconies facing East 2nd Street and East 3rd Street. To allow 19.16% pervious area, where 30% pervious area is the minimum required. And to allow partial waiver of minimum landscape requirements through landscape mitigation as per section 98-2235. Properties are located at 250 East 4th Avenue and folio number 04-3118-006-1820. Hialeah Zone CR, Commercial Residential District. Applicant William Riley, Esquire, on behalf of JPCG Real Estate Holdings LLC.
Name and address?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. For the record, my name is Bill Riley with offices located at 16343 Southwest 256th Street. Delighted to be here before you this evening on behalf of the applicant. We have a PowerPoint presentation prepared for you. And I'd like to go through that unless the chairman, okay.
Yeah, let's let her read it into the record first.
Yes, sir. I'm
And then
sorry.
we'll,
I
You have the
apologize. I
floor.
jumped ahead of myself.
The properties encompassing these applications are located at the west side of East 4th Avenue with the north boundary of East 3rd Street and the south boundary of East 2nd Street. To the east is Shoma Village and Excess Gardens Apartment, and to the west is Los Portales Condominium. The properties are 2 existing platted lots of approximately 47,250 square feet of area, or 1.08 acres. The current land use designation is Central Business, and the zoning district is CR, Commercial Residential District, thereby consistent. The properties are also located within the Hialeah Downtown Urban HDOC overlay. The properties to the north have a Central Business District land use designation and a CR zoning district. To the south is the Central Business District land use designation and a CR zoning district. To the east is Medium Residential District and Central Business District land use designation with a CR and R3 zoning district. In addition, Shoma Village also has an MBD overlay designation, and to the west is the Central Business District land use designation and the R3D zoning district. The properties are currently improved with a one-story commercial building with parking lot towards the south of the commercial building. The commercial building, as it currently stands, was built in 1956, according to Miami-Dade County records. The properties have been operating as a funeral home since 1996, according to the city records, and there are no current code, building, or fire open cases. The applicant's lobbyist stated in their submitted letter of intent that the properties are owned by Garcia Funeral Homes, Inc. and 240 East 4th Avenue LLC, which are under the same subsidiary and share the same principal as JPCG, Real Estate Holdings LLC, which is the applicant. This application proposes to redevelop both lots with a mixed-use four-story building, including an active ground level with a surface parking lot and 71 residential units. The project uses East 4th Avenue as the main elevation with corner active spaces. The north corner is proposed as a leasing office, and the south corner is proposed as a fitness center. The main pedestrian entrance is centered within a lobby, an elevator, and staircases, mailbox, and packages room area. All curb cuts are being removed to improve pedestrian connectivity and safety along East 4th Avenue. Vehicular access is through East 2nd and 3rd Street. There is a service area in the south rear access with a service elevator, loading truck, and all the back of the house spaces. The residential component of the building is divided into 18 studios, 41 one-bedrooms, and 6 one-bedrooms with den, and 6 two-bedroom units. The residential unit sizes varies from 583 to 930 square feet, requesting for a variance to have more than 25% of the residential units with less than 700 square feet, but providing for residential diversity within the building is favorable. All the residential units provide balconies at each level facing all the directions. In order to develop the property as described, the applicant is requesting a special use permit, SUP, to expand the neighborhood business district, NBD, which under the requirements of the code, these properties are apt to receive such SUP. When expanding the NBD regulations, the project is to provide high and density incentive points to comply with the regulations. The following are the provided points. Provide parking facilities at the rear, 1 point. Mixed-use building, 1 point. Hialeah one-time contribution of $20,000, 1 point. Amenities, fitness center, 1 point. The total amount of points are sufficient to comply with the requested density increase. Based on the proposal, the parking required is 85 parking spaces for the 71 residential units, therefore sufficient parking to comply with the NBD parking requirements. The landscaping and open space is requesting a variance to provide 19.16% of the pervious area where 30% area is required. However, as part of the site plan process, a tree mitigation payment shall be part as per code section 98-2235. The architectural design and placement of the project meet most of the NBD requirements. However, the project is proposing a front setback reduction of 5.66 feet where 10 feet are required. This setback reduction is toward East 4th Avenue and applicable to balconies only. In addition, a side setback reduction of 1 foot where 10 feet are required is requested along 2nd and 3rd Street, applicable to balconies only as well. The overall project is presented The project, as presented, brings the U-shaped volume towards East 4th Avenue, allowing for the existing two-story building adjacent to have a deeper separation from the proposed project. Therefore, the setback reductions do not impose the building towards any existing neighboring properties. Therefore, staff provides the following condition. provide a declaration of restriction stipulating all conditions, NBD time limitations for development, and a unity of title for the two parcels, and provide a 6-foot masonry wall surrounding the west property line, and provide a tree mitigation payment for the reduction of the trees on site at site planning, and the project shall be developed according to the plans prepared by Pascal Perez Quilitajian, START Architects and Planner, and sealed by Eduardo Perez and dated November 19, 2025. Staff recommends approval with conditions.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was listening to your director's presentation, and I was wondering what else I was going to say because she covered it very, very well. So I think I'll play Vanna White, and I'll show you some pictures and give you some more context associated with the project. The first slide of the presentation shows you a rendering of the building, and it is the 4 stories that your staff has mentioned. And it does transition really well within this neighborhood. And I have existing condition pictures that I want to show you later on in the presentation that'll explain exactly what I mean. If we could go on to the next slide. So this is the existing conditions of the property. It is a funeral home. The funeral home occupies the northern portion of the property. The southern portion of the property is occupied by a surface parking lot. It was built in about 1950s, although it was hard to find the exact date of construction on this property. Our client purchased it back in 1994 and has been operating ever since. The whole entire property, both the service parking lot and the funeral home, comprise a little bit over an acre in size. Next slide, please. The as-built survey just gives you some edification on the surrounding area that we have. It's unusual, at least I find it unusual, that all 3 sides of the streets that we abut are 80 feet right-of-ways. Usually you have much more narrow feeder streets that lead into their main corridor. In this case, we have very wide right-of-ways on all 3 of our sides. Now, currently, the property is almost 100% paved. It was actually hard for me to find places to post the public notice signs because everything was concrete. We're going to change that if this board and the city commission allows us to through approval of the application. Next slide, please. Again, this shows you a little bit of context. It shows you the Shoma homes being built just to the south of the property. I have a larger finished photograph of that. And it shows you to our west the 2-story townhouse style community, single family residential community to our west. It also just shows you the existing conditions of the property. Next slide, please. Now, when I mentioned that the surrounding neighborhood and what we did when we thought about this project was to make it a transition, and we were working with your professional staff, right across the street is the Shoma Towers that your staff mentioned that in the previous slide, we could see it was under construction. It's been fully completed now, it's being occupied. It is an 8-story multifamily apartment building. And we wanted to see a way to transition from the 8 stories to the 2-story development to our west. That's what we came up with regard to the 4-story development project that we have before you this evening. And it provides almost like that wedding cake type of design where you want to have in the central business district, you want to have more intensity at the core, and then it tapers off. And this project allows for that tapering from the 8-story to the 4-story to the 2-story. Now, on the north side of our property, we also have a shopping center, and that shopping center has a Navarro as its anchor tenant, and a bunch of other community service facilities, which will make it ideal for a multifamily building where people can walk across the street and access grocery stores and other conveniences. Next slide, please. Again, it's as staff mentioned, and some of this is redundant, but it is proposed to be 71 units in total. We worked hard to make sure that currently, one of the driveway cuts for the surface parking lot is located on Fourth Avenue. And I don't know if you've ever tried to enter into Fourth Avenue without a signalized intersection, but it's not easy. So we are proposing to get rid of that curb cut and to make Fourth Avenue a active street front. What I mean by that is that you would have a enlarged sidewalk with habitable space, the leasing office and the gymnasium on the ground floor plus the lobby, but you wouldn't have any curb cuts on Fourth Avenue. All traffic would be isolated to the side streets, which allows additional queuing if you need it, allows signalized intersections. It's a much more proper traffic circulation program, at least in our opinion. Next slide, please. The ground floor plan is the entire parking deck, and we have a significant amount of parking on the property, but it's all screened from both Fourth Avenue, where you have the habitable liner, so you won't be able to see any cars from Fourth Avenue. And from the side streets in the rear, we also have screening that includes landscaping, which I'll go over a little bit later in the presentation, as well as a security fence, which is a type of wrought iron type of security fence. The garage is going to be naturally ventilated, which means that there won't be any noise associated with mechanical ventilation to our residential neighbors to our west. Whenever the fans kick on in those controlled garages, we won't need to have that to make sure that there's ventilation within the garage. Next slide, please. This shows you the second floor plan, and it basically gives you a graphical image of what your staff mentioned in her presentation. We have double loaded corridors, which means we have apartments on both sides of the internal hallway. We had it in sort of a horseshoe, a half horseshoe shape, I guess is the best way to put it, to make sure that the density component is restricted up to Fourth Avenue as much as possible. Next slide, please. This was the third and fourth floor plans, and the purpose of this was to show you really the unit layouts and talk about the mixture of units. Staff already did cover this, and she explained that we have 18 studios, 41 one-bedrooms, 6 one-bedroom with a den, and 6 two-bedrooms. And the purpose of that is to make it an affordable project. The more one-bedrooms we can have there, the more tenants can have an affordable rent rate associated with the project. Next plan, please. This shows you the square footages, because we have a request to vary some of the square footages, and it goes to our affordability discussion. So the studios range anywhere from 583 square feet up to almost 600 square feet. One bedrooms are about 576 square feet to almost 900 square feet. The one bedroom and den, as well as the two bedrooms, are both over 900 square feet. So there's opportunity for young families to also have accommodations within this building. Next slide, please. This is the roof plan. The only reason I added this in is to show you that all of our mechanical equipment is maintained to the roof. Again, it gives you assurances that whatever type of noise is generated from air conditioning and stuff like that is isolated above the fourth floor, which will make it really unnoticeable or silent to our neighbors. Next slide, please. So the landscaping plan that we provided, I mentioned before that the property really is 100% paved right now. And we're proposing to have a lawn area of over or about 1,300 square feet. Now that's in addition to the landscaped area. The landscaped area is going to be an additional 5,100 square feet. We have a proposal to have 30 lot trees, 8 palm trees, 19 street trees, and 307 shrubs. So the reason I wanted to point this out is to say that we are very much committing ourselves to making sure this is a very aesthetically pleasing project. And apart from just the architectural features associated with the elevations, we want to make sure that it's softened by having landscaping. So when you're walking up and down the street or you're driving along the street, that landscaping will provide that softening effect. I only have 3 more slides left. Next slide, please. This is the front elevation. And what we did here was we tried to break up the massing for that front elevation. And we did that in a number of ways, in addition to the landscape that I mentioned before. One is we really activated that ground floor level with 3 different components. We provided visual visual separation when you look at it through architectural projections. Those projections include not only the balconies, but what I call stucco type of projections, which sort of frame different elements of the buildings, different components. So it makes it almost look like it's not one building. When you're passing by, it looks like there's segments to a building. Next slide, please. This is the side elevations, which again, wanted to point this out as where our access is limited to. You can see the driveway cuts on these 2 elevations. You can show how it is naturally ventilated. You can also see the massing separations included within the entire property. It's not isolated to just 4th Avenue. Last slide, please. And this just is a reiteration of the request that we made to your professional staff and to this board. And one of the things that I neglected to mention that staff did mention was that we have setback variances. And those setback variances aren't associated with the building itself. They're to allow us to incorporate balconies on all 3 sides of the building. So it gives people additional living square footage, and the square footage that I mentioned before is all AC. It's all under AC. So in many cases, you'll have an additional 70 square feet or more associated with outdoor space with the balconies. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I'll conclude and be happy to answer any questions you may have.
It's too bad you couldn't get that one lot to the back, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Comments or questions?
Question to the chair.
Yes, sir.
There's only balconies on one side of the building
No, not in all sides.
and all sides.
Yes.
Okay, I thought I heard something
Yeah.
about balconies only on one side.
Yeah.
Misunderstood. Okay.
It's kind of reminiscent of that building on 25th Street and 10th, where you have the little car dealer there that they were never able to negotiate with them.
Yeah.
So they had, yeah. So they had to do like what you do, build around that one corner.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate situation, but it happens more often than you would imagine.
Okay, any more comments or questions? All right, what's the pleasure of the board?
Motion to approve. Second. With conditions?
Okay, we had a motion by Mr. Iglesias, second by Mr. Mason. Mr. Morales?
Yes.
Mr. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Ulloa?
Yes.
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Mr. Iglesias?
Yes.
Item has been approved with conditions.
Thank you all very much, and I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Happy.
Merry Christmas.
Miscellaneous items not requiring advertising. Item number 9, old business. Okay, no old business. Item number 10, new business.
New business.
About the grass and the pavers that we spoke about,
The what?
about the grass and the pavers. that we-
Yes.
The artificial grass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we could look into something like that, it'd be cool. 'Cause I'm sure there's some kind of artificial grass that provides drainage.
They have to be.
So that would require a code change, and this board cannot direct any recommendation for a code change. Only it would be placed on an ordinance would be placed on an agenda. It's the mayor's agenda. So any change would have to come from the mayor or from the city council to direct the law department to come back with an ordinance. But those are the only 2 possibilities. So your only option would be for Claudia to talk to the mayor to see if she would be willing. Well, it wouldn't even be her agenda. So it would be for Claudia to talk to the new mayor to see if he would be willing to put that on the agenda. But that's the only option.
In the meantime, what staff can do, if you have questions, is at this moment, for example, currently, we don't have a landscaping permit per se process, okay? So we review the pervious area through, other means, okay? But we don't have any specific, landscaping. So to your point, if you want to change an area from, grass, natural grass to artificial, we'll have to look all those impediments that are not currently in place on how to do it. Typically, and that it will, so what we can do is like, what is the current conditions of our code, our procedures, and what, other municipalities they do to treat those, those requests.
Okay.
So we can discuss, we can analyze this and everything, but as, Mr. Attorney mentioned, it will be, it will be brought up to the new administration.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. Well, as far as the pavers was concerned, I just figure I throw it in there because I have seen it on other, in other locations, installed out there on like this one right here.
Right, and in our analysis, we will include all type of, materials, that it will change the natural state of, the earth. So it's not just going to be artificial, it's going to be pavers, it's going to be any other materials that they could potentially be used to move, to change it.
Yeah. Yeah, you see that one, right?
Mhm.
That's the one that I'm used to seeing everywhere. As you can see, they're very porous. They have, typically you would fill those holes there with sand, and that it still be pervious.
And that is exactly that. Those layers of materials is basically what it reduced the percolation rates of it. So all of that, it will have to be included.
Well, again, it's
Yep.
we learn something new every
Yep.
day.
Yep. Mhm.
So
Okay.
okay, well,
Christmas.
any new business? I'd like to congratulate you on your reappointment.
Thank you, sir. I would like to congratulate you too.
Congratulations to both of you. Yes.
Well, thank you. It took 3 times, but we finally,
We finally made it, huh?
3 times, 3 times a charm.
Yep.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Thank you.
Christmas.
Happy New Year. You back there, I know you're trying to do your thing, but hey, man, we love you. Have a good one. All right. Meeting's adjourned.